So this is the No More manual tire changer. I've already pulled the core, the valve stem core, to release the air. So I'm going to break the bead. So I'm going to lift this up here on the tire. Use my bar here. And just rest my toe right in the middle just to get it as close to the rim as I can. And then you use your body weight to drive down. And work it around, just make sure it's released on all sides. And then I like to spray some Dawn dish soap and water just to kind of lube it up, make sure it doesn't stick back into that rim. Flip it over, get the other side. Sometimes if you have a big pulley bolted to it, I put a block under there, a little 2x4 block to give it a little more leverage, which I may do on this one right here. I'll just show you. So I take this little block here and I stick it under there just to raise it up a hair. I do like these plastic coatings. It does protect the rim, so if you do slip out, it doesn't shinger up the rim. And then I'll lube this side up as well. Now I'm going to mount it. So these are all adjustable in here, which is really nice. So you can adjust it per wheel size. The largest wheel I've done on this is a 23. I think you can get up to a 24 on it. Tuck the rear one in there. May bring it in a little bit closer here. There's a lot of adjustability to this, which is nice, but also a little time consuming. Should be good. And then I use a 9/16 bit on my impact. Nice and tight. And then there's a tip here. You got a flat side and a round side. So I slide in with the flat side first. Once you get in there, you're going to turn to the circle side. Try to get the whole tire in the valley here. There you go. And then I push down on this valley here to lift the tire up. And then I can drop my post down in the center. This little plastic hook tool here just to hold the tire from slipping out. Should have got the tire a little bit tighter on there, but got the top off. Release this, move it over, come in and hook the bottom. And usually I can just hold the bottom by hand. tires off.
I like to clean the tires real good, get all that extra rubber off, any rust build up. Make sure it's nice and smooth.
Then I'll use my tire lubricant paste. I get this from Nomar as well. Get all the bead edges here. A little bit goes a long ways. Rub a little bit here in the valley of the rim. Get the bottom part here. Now let's go get our new tire. Alright, so I got my new tire here. I'm gonna go ahead and lube the tire up as well. Use a paintbrush or a sponge or anything to lube this up. I've always just used my fingers. So double check rotation on the tire. I want my tire facing me going clockwise with this wheel. I don't see a rotation on that side. And that's clockwise. So I'm gonna go ahead and press this in. Sometimes if that last end is being stubborn, you can have these spoons here to slide under and pry it. Looks like I'll be able to get this one in. There we go. Now this is where I'm gonna dump my balance beads in. Since I don't have a balancer, I use balance beads. So this size tire causes for 2 ounces. Just gonna lift it up in here. Try to do my best not to spill out any in the rear. And I did a good job. So now I'm going to take my pry bar here, get my first edge started, and align my post. Now the handle on this is a little 4mm Allen. And I put this handle right into the post here. 2 set screws. And that helps me prevent this from pivoting and popping out of there. Now what I'll do is I'll take 1 spoon, I'm going to slide it around this side as far as I can, and then you can do this without a strap, but I don't like to fight it. So I use the strap here just to help the tire not spin on me. And it keeps that bead of the tire pressed into the valley of the rim, which makes for an easier install. So go ahead and start that rotation here. There you go, pop that back into the valley there. See, it rotated on me and popped out. So I'm gonna come back in, put that back in there. I'll readjust this handle, get it a little bit closer. I didn't get as close as I wanted. I like to pin it right up into that bar. So if you have a stubborn tire coming to the end here, you can use your hip as leverage here. Push down on that handle so it doesn't turn out, and then it pops right in. And now I can go ahead, release everything here. And then find my balance dot, if there is one on this tire. There it is. Align that with the valve stem. And we're on. Now I can zap this out. And I'm good to inflate the tire. So as I'm inflating the tire, sometimes it helps to keep the valve core out of there. I do that especially with inner tubes in case I get an inner tube twisted. I can pump, release, make sure everything's going up okay. I've had an inner tube blow up in my face before, not the funnest thing to deal with. With no inner tube, I usually just put it in here. And you're gonna hear 2 pops as that bead sets. I've probably done about 200 tires or so in the last 2.5 years since I've had this. It's done its job. I'm ready to get some moving a little quicker, but if you don't do a lot of tires, it's definitely worth the money. Sport bike tires are a lot softer, a lot easier to work with. The Harley tires are a little tougher sometimes. A lot of times I'll let the tires sit out in the sun, get soft and pliable before I put it on. But other than that, it's served me well. So if you're interested, hit me up.